Hey everybody, welcome back to Up, Up, and Away, a comic book movie review and news podcast. My name is Joe Gilpin. I'm joined as always by my brother.
Matt.
How are you, Matt?
I'm good. Better now that I'm not watching this movie anymore.
Wonderful. Great point. We are here today for our podcast. Please remember to rate and subscribe. It's a big help to all of us. We, every Tuesday, come to you guys with an episode where we go over the full week of comic book movie news, everything that's going on. There's going to be a ton of that next Tuesday.
Oh yeah, already.
It's pretty ridiculous. And then every Friday, for example, today, we watch comic book movie and get together and discuss it. Yeah. We go through it in granular, excruciating detail.
Yeah.
And talk about everything that's good, everything that works, everything that doesn't work. And today, we are talking about the 1997 Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah.
A movie that does not work.
That should not have been made.
It's a whole bag of cats, this movie. I can't overstate that enough.
Hey, I like cats.
This movie is a wet sack of hammers. It's just useless. When we started this podcast, I was nervous about having to rewatch a couple of movies. This was chief among them. And I'm finally through that, and I feel a nice sense of accomplishment for that. I've watched this movie, so most other people don't have to.
Yeah. Although most of you have probably seen it too. Yeah,
sure. No, I think every comic book fan should watch this movie at least once.
Oh yeah.
To know what's going on. It's like how every Jewish person should take a birthright trip to Israel. Every comic book nerd should have to watch this movie.
This is what you have to do.
It's what you have to do, although Israel is quite nice.
Yeah.
So, this is much worse. Do you want to get into the opening stats of this movie, Matt?
Sure. This was directed, of course, by Joel Schumacher, the second one he's done. He also did Batman Forever.
Yes. This is his second and final crack at Batman.
Yes.
Rightfully so.
It was written by Akiva Goldsman.
Akiva Goldsman, Academy Award winning Akiva Goldsman.
Yeah. Didn't win it for this.
Not for this.
I
believe they took it away for this.
That should be a thing.
Yeah, if you make a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Your Oscar.
Sorry, Nick Cage.
Yeah, it's true. The bees! This had a budget of
No, he should have won for that. That was a robbery.
Now, have you ever seen that movie?
Oh, it's really bad.
Yeah, back to this bad movie. This movie had
We don't have time to talk about other bad movies, I promise you.
$140 million budget.
Oh boy. And I actually think a lot of it's up there on the screen. There's a lot of CGI, bad 1997 CGI, but CGI nonetheless.
Yeah, this CGI is almost worse than the other movies.
Yeah, and a lot of colors. I felt like I was having keys jangled in front of my face this entire movie.
I guess that's what Schumacher was going for.
It's very Joel Schumacher, if I'm to understand correctly.
A lot of bat butts and
a lot of bat butts, a lot of nips, a lot of bat dicks. He throws in bat dicks in this movie.
Yeah, we get some bat dicks.
He goes one step further. What would that next movie... We'll talk about that at the end. What the next movie in this could possibly have looked like.
I wish it was out there. I would like to watch it.
Stay tuned. So, this movie, it cost $140 million to make. I'm going to guess that it did not make back its money. Am I correct in that?
Nah.
This made a profit?
Yeah.
Shit. Did this make $200?
Yeah.
How much?
$238.
$238. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean,
that's a lot of pissed off people.
Oh, yeah.
This is back before Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, for real. You know George Clooney has, refunded people who said they've seen this movie?
No
just,
shit.
on the street.
That's really funny.
He's, given them, $20.
That's really, really funny.
Yeah.
I feel for him.
Oh,
I feel for him.
He feels bad about it.
Yeah, this movie stars George Clooney, who,
as Batman.
He's doing his level best with rough material. This is not a case where this is a poorly acted movie, I believe.
This is
a poorly conceived movie. Yeah, not by him. That's true. I think he is trying his darndest to keep this boat afloat, and he does not do it.
No.
I apologize to you, George. You are not getting it done.
No, it's like the end of the movie Titanic, where she's floating on that thing, on that big door. But just imagine if she also died, too. That was George Clooney in this movie.
He was... Oh, my God. Okay, what did the critics think of this?
The critics agreed. It has... Do you want to guess the Rotten Tomatoes score?
They've gone too high in the past. I'm going to guess this had a 22.
No, lower.
15.
Lower.
10?
Close. 11.
Damn.
So,
especially at the time, that is thrashed. Well earned.
yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I feel like I'm waiting to jump into a cold pool of this beat by beat breakdown.
Oh yeah. And I will say, I had a hell of a time finding a plot synopsis for this movie.
There's not one out there. For every other movie, we're able to go to like IMDb or Wikipedia sometimes.
Yeah, and it's like pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate. It's a pretty good point by point of what the movie is. That does not exist for this movie.
No.
Except for the good people at, where was it?
comicvine.gamespot.com.
Thank you, GameSpot. I shopped there once, and you guys have never stopped sending me emails, so I guess we're even, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, this was last updated last August, so...
No shit, people are still going in and like, it's just not good enough. This needs a little bit more.
It's touched up.
Yeah. They're really not capturing the je ne sais quoi of this whole thing.
Oh man, this fucking movie. I'm just looking at the plot. Alright, you just want to hop in?
I guess we have no choice.
Alright, this movie opens up, I believe it's them putting on suits again.
Yes, it opens just like Batman Forever, because Joel Schumacher's like, well, I nailed it with that, why would I change it? It begins and ends in the exact same way.
Yeah, it's true.
It's them putting on their rubber Batman suits, and this time, like we mentioned, they show their full-on butts. They show them...
It's not their bare butts.
It's not their bare butts, but it's them pulling up their pants. What were the actors possibly thinking? It was like, we're just going to get you pulling up your pants.
There's no way they were told.
We don't even see their faces, them putting on a mask, which might be metaphorical.
Symbolic, yeah.
What could these actors possibly be thinking of? Like, yeah, I guess he just needs to see my codpiece.
Yeah, it's just butts and codpieces and nipples.
By the way, during the opening credits, worth noting, Arnold Schwarzenegger top billed in this movie.
Yes, he was, and the only Jack Nicholson got that too, right?
Yeah, Nicholson and Schwarzenegger are the only two guys. By the way, if you I pointed this out during the movie. If you look at the logo for this movie, it's the bat symbol and then the Robin symbol right on top of it. Even their logos are fucking in this movie.
Yeah, I know. It's a little on the nose.
Even their logos are getting it on. It's a very ambiguously gay movie at times.
It's true.
It's very ambiguously gay duo.
Even with a seductive heroine.
No, they keep trying to fuck each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, this movie really careens off.
It never starts. To careen off, you have to be going.
Yeah, and so these two are on their way to go stop a crime. They've gotten the bat signal is out, and they're gonna go.
Yeah, then we see like he's talking to Commissioner Gordon.
Well, before that, he mentions Superman.
Oh yeah.
It's the first mention. It's the first hint we get of any kind of shared expanded universe.
Yeah.
And it's in this fucking movie. We don't get that in any of the Nolans. We don't get that in Batman 66 at all. We get it in Batman and Robin. Man. This fucking movie. If you're in a bad movie, don't let us know that there's a good movie happening just off screen.
Like right over there.
If you just turn the camera around, it would be such a good movie. Just across the bay, Superman is fighting Brainiac and Metallo and Luthor. It's great. But no, we're over here looking at bat butts.
Okay, and so they are heading out, and we see Pat Hingle is back for the fourth time. For whatever reason, they kept Pat Hingle around.
Yeah.
Man just never left.
Apparently Pat's still on set.
You guys need anything?
Craft service, whatever. I'm around.
So he gets like a little video of, and he's like, oh, there's a...
By the way, Pat Hingle dressed like Captain Crunch. He's dressed like Commissioner Crunch.
Yeah. That's so stupid.
You love it.
And he literally says, like, there's an icy villain tearing up downtown, robbing a museum or fucking something. And he calls himself Mr. Freeze. So all the exposition you need right there.
Yes.
They don't let the villain tell us who they are, or...
No, how does he know that?
I see, like, I'm Mr. Freeze. Blah. Is he yelling that?
He's just, like, leaving informational cards around town.
He's freezing his name into the side of a building.
Tell him Freeze was here, gang. Arnold did zero research into this role.
Oh,
I'm
hell no.
completely convinced.
No, why would
he? Did zero. Yeah, there's nothing to research. Cold scientist? That's not a thing, I think. Cryogenicist, maybe.
That's not even what they do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so when Batman shows up, he says, well, since I know who you are...
Yeah. Let me introduce myself.
I need to... I don't want to be rude here.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Hi, Freeze, I'm Batman.
What a terrible line.
I took a note, terrible line. I can't catalog all the bad lines in this movie. My hands will fall off.
True. This whole scene is a clusterfuck.
Yes. Mr. Freeze is trying to steal a diamond, which will power his suit.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a second, but fair enough. He's trying to steal a diamond.
Sure.
This is classic Bill Dozier-style Batman stuff, just done with a lot more money, or so you'd think. First of all, Robin fucks up his entrance when he comes in. He, crashes in through the side of the building and just skids out like he's Steve-O or something. Why did he fuck up his entrance? I guess because it's ice?
Yeah, he wasn't expecting it.
But clearly he was. He brought ice skates.
Yeah,
clearly you should have this down.
That's a great point.
If this is the movie you're living in, then live in that movie. No, but apparently before every single take, it's important to remember for this movie, before every single take, Joel Schumacher would tell everybody over and over, remember, this is a cartoon.
Yeah, be cartoony.
Be cartoonish. That's how he saw this. So, you have to remember that when you're watching any of these performances.
Yeah.
They are given terrible direction.
Yeah. And so, a big, in the middle of this Batman and Robin movie, a hockey game breaks out.
Yes. They are full-on flyers in the middle of this movie for no reason.
Broad Street Bullies. Using some sort of tech, they, shink out some ice skates out of their boots.
Okay. That is brought up a lot as a little token of how bad this movie is. Of them just popping out ice skates.
Right.
Rightfully so. It's a terrible moment. Why would they possibly know to bring ice skates? I guess they were told it was Mr. Freeze, but they weren't told that before they left. Yeah. That would be... See, you can fix that with one simple thought of Hingle should tell them that while they're in the Batcave.
Yeah.
Hey, you're fighting a guy named Mr. Freeze. Oh, okay, cool, no problem.
Let's bring our fire stuff and our ice skates.
I feel like we kind of have to accept it from here on that, fine, these guys just have a lot of ice stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At a certain point, the movie just kind of wears you down with how terrible it is. So you just have to... It's like the bed of nails. Like, if you step on a nail, it'll go through your skin, but if you step on 1,000 nails, you can just walk. They all absorb the pressure, so there's no real pain. That's how I feel about the dialogue in this movie.
Yeah.
Somebody came in, and they got the worst comedic writers possible to do punch-up on this movie.
Oh, for real?
Because when you do punch-up on a movie, as a comedic writer, and I say this as a comedian, they just, pay you, they have the script written, and they have some of the scenes already shot, so you can't change anything. You just have to drop in random lines.
Right.
Into random spots. Basically non sequiturs. And that litters this movie. They had so many terrible, puns and... Well, no, they brought in the cast... The people who were on lunch break from Hollywood Squares, I guarantee you came in and did an hour on this movie.
It's probably true.
I'm kind of not kidding about that.
Back to this plot.
Back to the plot.
We're still playing hockey. With the diamond is the puck.
At what point in this movie do you think people in the audience lost hope?
Hockey.
It had to be... For me, it's always when Robin starts puck handling the, $1 billion diamond.
Right. The ISIS diamond is literally what it's called.
Yeah, literally called the ISIS diamond. That's when I'm like, oh, right, that's what we're doing.
Well, we watched the theatrical trailer to this before we watched it. It's like a special feature on the Blu-ray. And even that, it looks terrible going in. No one was going in, expecting just a rock solid movie. Because if you were, why?
Why were you doing that?
All right, and we see that Batman and Robin take care of all the goons.
Yes, Freeze is there.
Sure.
And he is an open, wanton bad guy.
Yeah.
He's an open villain.
He says, "Get the heroes,
kill the heroes," is what he says.
Yeah, and I know the Mr. Freeze that's he's the hero of his own story.
I was going to bring this up. It's so non-Freeze to be the villain.
Yeah.
He does not twirl his mustache and tie people to railroad tracks.
No.
He is just trying to save someone important to him.
He has a purpose.
Yeah.
Which is in this movie, but it's also not in this movie.
It's also completely not in this movie. Yeah, because it's all going back to 92 Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
The episode Heart of Ice, it was like the 4th or 5th episode of the animated series. It was within the first 10. An episode that redefined who Mr. Freeze was.
Oh, yeah.
Gave him North Freeze, gave him all that.
Because back in the 60s, Mr. Freeze was played by Otto Preminger, and it was like this.
It was basically Captain Cold.
Yeah.
It was basically Captain Cold.
Sure, yeah. From the Flash stuff.
From the DC universe.
Yeah.
He was a Justice League member. He's been around. But it redefined him, and that episode isn't without its problems. He defeats Mr. Freeze by throwing chicken soup at him. There's problems.
Yeah.
But it gets the origin right, and it gets the tone right, and it gets how mechanical and cold he is.
Yeah.
In this, Arnold is constantly overacting.
Oh, he's chewing the shit out of that scenery.
That's where they spent the $140 million on.
He's looking at the camera, too.
Yeah, at times, all of them do. Everybody in this movie looks at the camera at times.
You're not Deadpool. Knock it off. And so, Freeze had just had a rocket there. I don't know why. And he basically trapped Batman on it. And Robin,
he's going to space, because space is cold.
And Robin clung to the side of it. And so Freeze was like, bye, Batman, and just springs wings and flies away.
Yeah, he launches himself into space. There's a bomb on there? What's going on?
No, it's gonna, fall back down to Earth and then
explode or something, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's jet fuel on it.
Sure.
But, I mean, it's not like jet fuel can melt steel beams.
Just shut up.
Would it be great if I thought that?
And then, so Batman's...
Yeah, physics literally does not exist in this movie.
No, hell no. So Batman's in there, and then Robin gets in. It's like, hey, and Batman's like, I'm gonna blow this up so the bomb doesn't go off or whatever. And so, that's already a bad idea.
Yes. If Joel Schumacher thought that he was shooting a cartoon, if this was a cartoon, children would be crying.
Yeah.
This is not a cartoon. This is methed up Power Rangers.
Yeah, it's true. I said that about Mr. Freeze. He looks like a Power Rangers villain.
Yeah, he really does. He looks kind of like, he's very Otto Uzish at times.
It's true. Ivan.
Otto was his brother. I'm making this up.
Okay, I think I said Otto Preminger earlier. That might have thrown you.
To be said of this scene, at least this movie starts with a big fight. Because we've gotten on Batman movies before about it starts a little low energy, or it goes a long time without anything happening. At least it cuts to the chase. Best example ever of cutting to the chase, by the way, Star Wars. Starts directly in a chase.
Sure.
Big ship, tiny ship, everything you need to know. Big ship chasing a tiny ship. Everything you need to know, you already know.
Yeah, but the thing is, and we'll get into it later, there's a lot of moving parts in this movie.
Yes.
And I think a lot of exposition is needed. And I think a lot of...
They just have a CNN crawl across the bottom.
Honestly, I think they just need a lot of Batman doing detective work, which we get a little bit of, and him just, kind of figuring shit out.
Did we get that?
We can get him figuring out Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's it. And so this scene, to wrap up this first big scene, is they crash...
Go.
They blow up the little rocket thing, and then they literally snowboard off with the doors from the rocket.
It's a tubular moment.
It's Point Break.
And by the way, it's still going to plummet to Earth, just now in 1,000 fiery pieces.
Yeah.
How much could this diamond possibly be worth? Considering how much the cleanup is going to cost for that.
The whole museum is trashed.
It would be so much more cost effective to be like, yeah, you got to take it. Now, listen, we were in the actuarial chart. That diamond is yours.
We're just going to take this L.
Yeah. They show the Gotham architecture. Still kind of into it. Still kind of dope. It's got really big dudes, big hulking, muscular, oiled up statues holding up everything. It's fucking weird.
Because Gotham's really weird.
Yeah.
We're told that in comic books and stuff. It's supposed to kind of look like that.
Yeah.
So, weirdly enough, that's far not the worst thing about this movie.
Oh, honey child, no.
Batman manages to tackle Mr. Freeze, and they're all like fighting, and then they get back to this one little area of Gotham, and then Robin lunges at Mr. Freeze, and he gets frozen.
Yes.
Due to Freeze's freeze gun.
He's a terrible hero.
He
Terrible hero. He gets immediately frozen.
And then Mr. Freeze leaves.
He just, like, lunges at him, arms out, feet back.
Yeah.
There's no... How are you possibly gonna... You'd get called for spearing in the NFL for that.
And, Mr. Freeze is just like, you can either save the diamond or save him.
You have 11 minutes to save him. That's a really long time. That's
a
really long time.
Especially because Mr. Freeze is like 20 feet away.
Yeah, he like walks briskly away from you, and then it takes him like 40 seconds to save Robin. Go get him! He's right there! You can still physically see him!
Yeah, he also blew up his rocket. He can't go far.
Yeah, he's like 1,000 pounds. Just go grab him.
Yeah, that's the end of that scene.
And then scene. We should have those. No, it cuts to South America.
Yeah, we cut to I assume Santa Prisca.
Yes.
We're never told. It'd have been cool if it just said Santa Prisca.
No, it's like a painted matte background of
forest.
A forest with a blab in the middle of it.
Yeah, some sort of building. And it's where we meet Dr. Pamela Isley, played by Uma Thurman. She is a botanist and discovers that her boss, Dr. Woodrue, is using her...
Dr. Woodrue, who is, in the comics, Phosphorus Man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How about that?
Little Easter egg.
And also, that actor played...
John Glover, right?
I believe it's John Glover.
He's really good in a lot of stuff.
He's the voice
He plays Manic super well.
He's the voice of the Riddler in Batman the Animated Series.
He was also Lex Luthor's father in Smallville.
I mean, how about that, guys?
He's been in a lot of comic book stuff. He is a good fan, good friend to the comic book cinematic world.
And he is using Poison Ivy's plants in her concoctions to... she created Venom.
Yes, she has created Venom, which he in turn uses...
Yeah, to create super soldiers.
To create a super soldier. We get a super soldier name drop in this movie.
Yeah.
That shows how, like, back burner Captain America was.
Yeah.
That it was never going to show up.
Yeah, for good fucking point. And so we...
This Pamela Isley stuff is actually pretty good.
Oh, no, yeah.
There's good bones here
to
be made, and they're mixing in, okay, we can't just have plant stuff, we're going to throw in a little bit of snake venom and gator juice or something. I don't know.
Gator jizz.
Jesus, Matthew. But yeah, she stumbles in and...
well, no, what happens first... she stumbles in and sees that he has taken a prisoner, I assume, some sort of volunteer, and has strapped him into this table and puts the venom in him.
Yes.
And he is Bane.
Turns him into Bane! Comic book supervillain Bane.
Weird that this had a better origin story for Bane than The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, we get more explanation here. So, actually, I'm not sure that's true. We kind of.
I'm saying it's comic book Bane.
Yeah, it is comic book. This is the only Venom up Bane that we see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think in the Nolan one, it's like he has like painkillers because he's in pain or something something like that.
But this Bane fucking sucks. Don't get me wrong. I love Tom Hardy's way more.
Oh, 1,000%. And he's showing this off because he wants to sell the super soldier serum to the Ununited Nations.
Yeah, this is a bunch of stereotypical people up on this rail.
It's a bunch of Hulk Hogan villains from the late 80s.
Really does.
It's like the Iron Sheik and Coco Beware is there. Yeah. George the Animal Steel. It's like...
Mr. Fuji.
Yeah, it's every single stereotype you can imagine.
Ricky Steamboat.
It looks like something Donald Trump would say is definitely a thing. It looks like...
I saw it, there was a video.
Many people say that we have to get rid of the Ununited Nations.
And Venom. And so she sees all of this, and she's killed for discovering the secret.
Yes, he then murders her. Yeah. He comes across a little insane.
Yeah, well, duh, he just murdered her.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Shut up.
And so, back at the Batcave, we get Batman and Robin are doing some research.
Yes.
On Mr. Freeze.
10-time Olympic decathlete, or something like that. I think they said 2-time Olympic decathlete, because they have to explain why he's fucking huge.
He's not that big.
He is the world's leading cryogenicist is also not spending time in the Olympics. I promise you. Anytime there's somebody like that in a comic book universe, like, they're perfect at everything, for sure watch out, because they're going to turn into a supervillain.
Yeah, there's a supervillain or Batman.
Yeah.
Batman's such a Mary Sue. And so, yeah,
we can talk about that later. Let's talk about that in the beat by beat. Sure. Or in the character breakdown.
Not even just in this, I'm just saying in general.
We see Mr. Freeze fall into the cryogenic pit. Basically, his origin, it's not on purpose, like it's shown to be in some of the origins. Mm-hmm. It's not
criminal.
It's not criminal. He basically slips on a banana peel.
Whoa.
And it does nothing to explain why he's the way he is. I think we're left to assume that his mind gets a little bit warped.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It
sucks.
Yeah, it's awful. And by the way, we're not even getting into the worst parts of this movie, which are the line-for-line dialogue reads.
Yeah.
They're terrible. The words that they are saying to each other make no sense. They do nothing for any plot. They're not funny to any person.
No.
It's awful. It is an unenjoyable watch.
And it's after that we see that we cut back to the rainforest, and Pamela Isley is alive.
Oh no, before that we also figure out that one of my favorite Mr. Freeze details, his suit, is powered by diamonds.
Oh yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, what a weird way to power your fucking suit.
Hey man, maybe don't choose one of the most hard-to-find things on the planet to run your super suit.
Yeah, you might as well have it run on Fabergé eggs.
Literally. Why not? And we also start to get a father-son dynamic, kind of, for
like,
Bruce
Bruce
and Dick.
You're too controlling.
Yeah, he's mad that he didn't let him go and fight Freeze, even though he did.
Yeah,
and he lost.
Yeah,
you had your chance.
You were a total wimp.
Yeah, he's like, we should go out and fight him again. It's like, you just got the shit beat out of you. Are you getting off on this? Is this a sex thing that you're into?
Because let me know.
Yeah, I mean, hey. And we start to see the kind of a father-son relationship between Michael Gough, Alfred, also pulling the 4 for 4 on movies.
Yes, he is.
And Clundog.
We also see, though, that Alfred is in pain.
Yeah, he's flinching. He's in a little bit of pain. We're not sure why.
His chest and shit.
Yeah. Zero chemistry between Michael Gough and George Clooney.
And Michael Gough and Val Kilmer. And Michael Gough and Michael Keaton.
And I don't... Is he just this bad an actor?
No, because I've liked Michael Gough in other things.
He's not a good Alfred.
He's just not a good Alfred. He's too old. He's too frail.
Yeah.
And we see that once they learn that the suit is powered by diamonds, Bruce... They're like, oh, Bruce, maybe he's coming after your diamonds next. Just because there's just a shitload of diamonds in this town. Maybe that's why Freeze chose it.
Yeah.
There's just enough...
This town is thick with diamonds.
That could just take.
Yeah, it's like one of those, like, mid-African villages where they're just, like, throwing them out the window because they're everywhere.
And it's not at this point that we cut back to Dr. Woodrue, and Pamela's alive. She, like, comes out of the floor.
Yeah.
Very fast. And
yeah, she shoots out of there. And now her personality is very different. And the big change in her personality appears to be that now she is horny.
Yeah.
It's really like, that's the overarching
she wants it.
Theme. She is down to clown.
Yeah.
I guess she's embracing her sexuality, would be the way to put it. Because when she was Pamela Isley, she was very mousy and scientific. But you can still be a sexy scientist. Yeah. I've seen video. Gross.
Video. The one video.
I've broken down tape.
Check out your other podcast.
I do have another podcast. It's called The Fighter's Block, for anyone who likes MMA or boxing.
Thanks, Jeff.
It's good brand.
I set you up for that, though.
Yeah. Why are plant hormones making her horny? Are we meant to believe that plants are horny?
I mean, they grow real fast.
Matthew.
Plants grow fast.
Girl, I'm growing like a weed.
Ew. She says shit like, my blood's been replaced with aloe and my skin with chlorophyll. It's like, then why do you still look like Uma Thurman?
Yeah, you should look all green and weird and shit.
Yeah.
You should be a horrible Swamp Thing monster.
Yeah, I mean, kinda.
Yeah.
Until she dolls herself up. That would have been kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, she has to, like, bring herself back together.
Yeah. Yeah, just like kind of like Clayface. Just like
That'd be dope.
Putting her face together and shit. And it's the next. I assume it's the next day. Time.
She kisses.
Oh right. She kisses Dr. Woodrue and kills
him. She has venom in her lips. We apologize if this synopsis is all over the place, as is the movie and all of the breakdowns.
Yeah, and also this movie sucks.
No, and then you're missing a big problem. First of all, her plan for some reason is now very different than what it was when she was Pamela Isley, even though she's just as pro-plant, it seems.
Yeah.
And then she picks up a beaker. It says Wayne Industries on it, and she's like, guess I'm going to go attack Wayne Industries.
Yeah, I blame him.
The people at Chemex are very happy. Jesus Christ, thank God. There's nothing to say that this is a Wayne enterprise, that this is... They just made a beaker.
Yeah.
And people need beakers for stuff.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to make. It's not like she picked up some cigarettes or something.
Marlboro.
Whose Trilby is this? Wayne Industries. I will get them. I'd be like, she's making some points. She's making some good points.
All right, I'm listening.
Yeah.
And is it this time that what's her face shows up? Barbara? I think it is.
No. Next we cut to the
gala?
Mr. Snow video.
Oh fuck! Holy shit!
Yeah, we get Vivica A. Fox and stuff.
Yeah,
good thing I take an insane amount of notes on these movies.
Yeah. As I said, this is the only plot synopsis that I found, mainly because the other ones were a paragraph long. Also hilarious.
They said stuff like, and now, Poison Ivy, super pissed.
Poison Ivy is super pissed off. And they called Nora Freeze Lady Freeze.
I like to imagine Lady Freeze is Mr. Freeze, but with a big Miss Pac-Man bow on his head.
Lady Freeze. The character Nora Freeze isn't that ruined for me. And, so yeah, this scene, they're back in, like, Mr. Freeze's lair, which is all iced over, and he's watching, the Cold Miser, for some reason, and he's dressed in all polar bear attire.
Yes, he's in PJs.
Yeah. And, he's got, his boys, who are trying to sing a Christmas carol, or something, but can't, mainly because Warner Brothers didn't want to pay these people.
Yeah.
And then we see Vivica A. Fox, who is dressed up in a slutty snow costume. For some reason, I thought he was trying to cure his wife, but he's got hose on the side.
Another girl, super horned up by villainry.
Yeah. Yeah, we had
Ladies
Drew Barrymore and what's her
Debbie
face?
Mazar.
Yeah. Sure.
How long has he been stealing diamonds? He's been at this a long time. He has a lot of diamonds.
Yeah, we see his diamond collection. There's a shitload. It's like Batman just learned about him.
Yeah. Why is Vivica A. Fox there? Why is she... It's never explained who she is.
Maybe... I'm going to do some headcanon. I'm going to say she was a bank teller.
Yeah, and she just went with her.
And it was just like, oh, man.
Oh, that's a really good idea. She's never named, I don't think.
No.
She's never given any kind of explanation. I don't think she shows up again. She's just in this one scene.
She's listed as Vivica A. Fox as Miss B. Haven.
Ooh, boy. And also, a problem, they are in a closed-down ice cream factory.
Yeah.
Guys, that's a little on the nose. I appreciate branding as much as the next guy, but we are being super obvious right now.
Yeah, we're really playing the character right now. It'd be funny if somebody said that.
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll know to look here, boss? Freeze gun shoots him. Something. Did we laugh one time in this movie? On purpose?
No, never at something they did. It was always at, things we were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and then is when Barbara shows up, right? Or do we go to that gala first?
I think, we go to the gala. No, yeah, it is Barbara. By the way, I want to note, because here's where we get, Freeze talking about his wife and, he needs to find a cure for his wife. People would help him do that.
Yeah, no one...
People help with diseases all the time. May I point out, ironically, the ice bucket challenge.
Sure.
Just do that. You already make ice.
Yeah.
Just make that happen.
Bruce Wayne might
This is
help.
a pre-Kickstarter world. This is a
really
pre-GoFundMe world.
That would be interesting if a villain used GoFundMe. That's a Joker move. Just if you give me $100, I will kill someone you hate.
Listen, man, I have to buy chattering teeth
gotta
and
get some
bombs. I'm investing in some hyenas. It's an investment, not a purchase. It's important.
Gotta get Harley a new mallet.
Yeah.
And maybe a wedding ring.
Aww. Oh my god, yeah. Next we get Barbara Gordon, Batgirl.
Well, such an Barbara Wilson.
Barbara Wilson. But Batgirl. A huge character, a big turn, our first active female hero, introduced with an upskirt shot.
Yeah. She's like, what is she doing?
She just, rings the doorbell, and then she starts, climbing up on the side of the door.
Bitch, wait a minute.
Wait literally 30 seconds. And she's being played by noted fat sow Alicia Silverstone. I say that only because while they were shooting this movie, Alicia Silverstone was fresh off Clueless, where she was 15 years old or something.
Yeah. She was older than that.
Yeah, she was 16, 17. She was 18 when they filmed this. And she put on 10 pounds. As girls in their late teens sometimes do. Grow boobs and stuff. And people in the media there was stuff all over about oh my god, Alicia Silverstone is getting big as a house.
Yeah, because apparently her costume was ripping or something like that, and
because she is vacuum packed into it.
Yeah,
like she's in the end of Grease.
Also it's rubber. So they're super fucking awful.
Yeah.
But it's just she was just oh, I'm looking for Alfred Pennyworth because Dick answered the door.
Yeah.
Dick again played by Chris O'Donnell. I don't think we mentioned
that. We should mention that. Yeah.
He's back.
Poison Ivy played by Uma Thurman.
I said that.
Yeah. Okay.
Schwarzenegger. Yeah, and nothing really happens in this scene. She's just hey, Uncle Alfred.
Yeah, well, no, we get a little bit, because we found out something very interesting. She is there because she got, I guess we find out later why she's there, but, she's an orphan, and she has nowhere else to go, so she's coming there. And her parents died.
In a car accident.
Years ago.
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Why didn't she move in with Bruce and Alfred?
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
She's at boarding school?
Okay. Dick moved in?
Yeah.
Why the fuck couldn't Barbara? Also, who does she think he is?
Yeah, who does she think Dick Grayson is here? Just some guy?
Hey, is Bruce, is he touching you? You can tell me.
Are you guys, dating?
Is it a thing? I won't care, but
yeah.
I'm curious.
So, how old is Dick supposed to be here?
32. No, he's supposed to...
We guess it's 16.
He's probably supposed to be 16, 17.
Well, no, we guessed 16 for the other movie, for Forever.
Well, but this could immediately follow that one.
Yeah, it could, I guess. Whatever. So how old is Barbara supposed to be?
I think she's supposed to be, 15, if I had to guess.
What?
I don't know.
How old's Bruce? 10? We're just fucking...
Yeah, Bruce is 20.
This is actually Batman Year 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's there.
Yeah. And they also bring up something that annoys me in the comics where Alfred comes from a family of butlers.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? I don't think it is.
That's in some iterations. I think that's currently in Gotham as well.
Yeah, show. I don't like that. Get off of that. Stop doing that. Why is it? Why are there swaths of butlers going back generations like they're watchers and I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
I hate that so much.
Next
we get the
gala,
the christening of the Gotham Observatory.
Yeah, because why the fuck not? What a weird thing to christen. Yeah, they're unveiling a new powerful telescope, which Bruce donated. This is where we see Pamela Isley basically force her way up to confront Bruce Wayne, and was
she's using the power of positivity. Say yes to life.
She's oh, I want you to help me save the planets, and he's but people will die.
Yeah, this plan would literally kill several million people.
And she's
cool.
She's yeah, man.
Acceptable losses. Which I actually have no problem with that. It's showing that she really doesn't care about human life. She cares about the ecosystem.
So far, not bad Poison Ivy.
Fair enough. It's not bad theoretical Poison Ivy.
Yeah, on paper.
But
the script.
She's giving this weird semi-Eartha Kitt kind of thing of oh, hello, boys. Yeah. How is everyone doing? Is that supposed to be a sexy accent? Because if a girl started doing that to me, I'd be like, oh my god, you're having a stroke. Sit down. Oh my god, I have no idea what to do.
Call a doctor. I think it's almost like she's trying to do a Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, she's doing very Michelle Pfeiffer. And she came back from the dead, like Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, it's true.
It's a very Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's true.
Killed by a man, comes back all sexy.
Yeah.
Is that the message of these movies?
Later we see that Bruce is conducting a diamond auction, trying to lure Mr. Freeze into a trap.
Is Bruce doing it, or is Batman doing it? Batman's doing it,
They're
right?
the same guy.
Well, no. Bruce donates his diamonds, but then Batman is there just, like, taking pictures of people and shit. And Robin's there, too. Yeah. Just, like, glad-handed and shaking hands.
I don't wonder where Bruce is.
Yeah. I have no idea. Except he can't quite turn side to side.
Yeah.
He can never turn his head. This movie has to turn his entire body. He needs to be on a hoverboard or something.
With that suit, it's reported that George Clooney peed himself multiple times.
Oh, no shit.
During filming.
That's...
Because he couldn't take it off.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they put, like, a bag in there?
I'm sure he had an adult diaper.
Oh, my God. Poor Clooney.
Poor Clooney.
And then, we see Poison Ivy comes in. Full Poison Ivy, but she's wearing, like, a dress. Her skin is still, like, white and shit. She's still, like, a white lady.
Yeah.
She's just wearing, like, green tights. And she's being seductive. She's got, like, this powder that's, like, making guys bend to her will.
Yeah. She shows up, though. Did you mention the gorilla costume? She shows up in the gorilla costume. And she's doing a sexy dance in this, like, big purple gorilla costume. It's a weird, like, banana splits from the 1960s kind of thing.
It's for Harambe.
Yeah. Dicks out for Harambe, guys. It's literally the point of this scene. That's a very weird Twitter reference. This scene has a furry in it.
Yeah, it does.
Have I told you my furry story?
Yes, you have.
It's. I'm going to tell it for the podcast real quick.
All right, man.
You can tune out for a second if you'd like.
I will. I'm going to take a nap.
It's a friend of mine. Tell me if this is a story you heard. A friend of mine was a mascot for a college up in New York, and he for a local hockey team, they had a night where they were going to have as many mascots as possible, because that was something to help get people in the door. Hey, you get to see like 1,000 mascots or whatever, or like 100, however many they were trying to get. They were just trying to get as many as possible. Dozens and dozens of them. But all things told, they could only find like 8. They could only get a confirmation of like 8 people, and that wasn't that many. They wanted more than that. So somebody in that hockey team's marketing department reached out to a local furry organization and invited a shitload of them to show up, and they showed up and just started fucking each other.
Oh my God.
It was horrifying. And they started trying to fuck him because they assumed he was totally down for it, because it's like an orgy key party kind of vibe, apparently, with furries.
Right.
And so he's like, the night ends with him openly running from this, like, blue cat that's just, like, chasing him with the biggest heart on.
Oh my God. And I know who that is, who you're talking about.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, also, Julie Madison is in this movie, played by Elle Macpherson. Julie Madison, a comic book character, a personal favorite of Bruce's non-superpowered girlfriends.
Stable of ladies.
Yeah, she was great in the New 52. She's been great in a lot of stuff.
Given nothing to do here.
Given absolutely nothing to do. Don't think Elle could pull much off, but she stands there and looks nice.
Apparently they cut a lot of her scenes.
Fair enough.
Alright. That would have saved me.
Oh, thank God. If I'm Elle, I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
Thank Christ.
Did you cut all of them?
And so we see that, like, she, this is where she starts to, no pun intended, plant seeds of dissent between Bruce and Dick.
Yes.
And, shut up.
How cool would it be if Poison Ivy's plan was just to keep going after Wayne Industries? She pivots here. She pivots entirely to just now focusing on Batman.
Because, yeah, like, Batman's brought up, like, oh, Batman will stop you, crazy lady.
Yeah. Well, Batman doesn't like supervillains. Then I don't like him.
Yeah.
And she completely abandons Wayne Industries as a plot.
Yeah.
It would be so cool if, like, Schwarzenegger was attacking Batman.
Yeah.
And Poison Ivy is attacking Bruce Wayne. And he kind of has to manage both of these things.
Yeah, which one does Gotham need more right now?
Because, but naturally, it's an interesting plot line, so it's dropped immediately.
Oh, yeah, hell no. And we see they're openly bidding on women.
Yes.
This is a prostitution scene?
Well, no, it starts as just like, you win a date with this person, and that happens. You know, it's slightly demeaning, but it happens.
It's gross, too.
But then she shows up, and she's like, well, if you win a date with me, you'll see everything that I'm wearing, and everything that I'm not. Or something like that. It's basically saying, like, listen, if you win a date with me, you are gonna fuck this plant lady. So, who is gonna bid on me? This is open, wanton prostitution. And Batman's like, one please. Yes, I would like one of those.
And she's like,
I will purchase that prostitute. Yes, I'm Batman.
And
don't worry, I'll cut a thing out of my suit and we'll fuck that way.
She literally says, like, come tend to my garden.
Yeah.
Which is like, holy shit.
It's gross! It's the grossest scene.
Those lines have to be why this is rated PG-13. You know?
I have no idea. It blows my mind. This is also naturally Batman's bidding on Poison Ivy because of the pheromones. Everybody's like enthralled with her.
Yeah.
Robin is also bidding on her using Bruce's money, assumedly. Not even assumedly, openly.
No, he's like...
Yeah, he's like, you don't have any money, I have money.
Yeah.
He's kind of a dick about it. Batman pulls out...
It's like you're an orphan.
Maybe your parents can pay for it. He pulls out the Bat credit card.
Oh, yes, he does.
It's a MasterCard. Never leave home without it.
And it says, you know what it says on the expiration date?
What?
Forever.
Fuck this movie. It makes no sense.
Why did they give him that?
Who made him that? What bank account is it set up to? Isn't that wildly traceable?
Yeah, for real. Maybe that's what Miss B. Haven is doing. I said she's a bank teller.
Yeah. And then, but the party, before anything big can happen, is crashed by Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, come on, Freezy.
And while Catwoman, at this point, Poison Ivy rather, appears to be doing a Catwoman impression, Mr. Freeze, at this point, appears to be doing a Chandler Bing impression. Because he's doing nothing but throwing out the worst late 90s jokes you can hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, I went there, Chandler Bing fans.
Just a bunch of puns and...
This is where we get the Ice to See Yous and the Ice to Meet Yous and the... You know it. You've all seen the supercut.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze, he's trying to steal that diamond. Batman and Robin, they try to capture him, and it leads into like this big chase, and Batman in the Batmobile.
I think this chase is actually quite a ways later. It's not immediately after that they have this chase, weirdly.
Did they like fight a bunch of goons?
Yeah, they fought a bunch of goons, and then afterwards, that was all resolved, and there was still a little bit more arguing between Batman and Robin. Yeah, Dick and Bruce. And eventually, they are just on a chase.
Yeah.
They found him palling around town. And gave chase. And
Batman shuts down Robin's motorcycle, like manually.
Yeah. He says that he can't handle it, which is proven to be correct, and is not going to let him go through and continue this chase and put himself in danger, which makes sense.
And Batman is able to jump the bridge where he shut down Robin. And I swear to God, he lands on Mr. Freeze, and that's how he captures him.
We are not given... This is one of my biggest problems with this movie. No, it's not. We are not given any kind of...
One-on-one.
One-on-one. We're not given a fight. We're not given any kind of resolution to this scene. It's bullshit. It's utter bullshit. Everything that's happened in this movie up to now almost doesn't count.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone's plot. I don't know what anyone is trying to do.
Yeah, because we assume that Mr. Freeze is trying to cure his wife. But we have not
seen that.
No.
We only know that because we know outside stuff.
And we saw her body.
Yes.
And so he's like, oh, Nora, you're there.
Yeah.
And you're just going to be there forever. And so there comes more squabbling about Robin not trusting Batman and Batman not trusting Robin.
Yes.
He's like, fine, Grayson's more family.
Doubting his charge. They're not a family. This is not a partnership. Yeah. It is a mentorship. You are a child, in theory.
Like, when people say the Bat family, like, yeah, but Bruce is the dad.
Yeah. All your kids don't get a vote on where you're going to eat for dinner.
Yeah. They can
bitch about it.
Done.
Yeah. Dad, that's not how you should set up your Roth 401k.
Shut up, Bruce Jr.
And it's absolutely terrible. And they keep arguing afterwards.
Yeah.
Is Robin supposed to be, like, souped up because of the plant hormones?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Because he definitely
Because he's like, you're just jealous of Poison Ivy wanted to blow me in front of everybody.
She wanted to blow me in front of everybody. Like, that's what they argue about. No, but that keeps being a point of contention. And if you're Batman, just kick him out.
Yeah.
Or at least pull him. Don't let him, if you can't trust him to be Robin.
You're on desk duty.
Yeah. Take his badge and gun.
Yeah.
Turn your badge and gun. No guns.
Wait, you have a gun?
What, was there a no gun thing? I wasn't really told. You just kind of brought me in and let me start doing stuff.
I am addicted to drugs. And we see Bruce is like talking to Alfred and shit. And he's like, am I like that, Alfred? Am I this? Which is so un-Bruce. I kind of get what they're going for, where Bruce is like, should I trust Dick more? But that's not what he's questioning here.
Nope.
He's questioning, like, am I really in charge? Should this be like a 50-50 partnership?
And no, it should not.
No, hell no.
Robin has not shown himself to be capable in 1 minute of any of this. He got captured at the end of the last movie. He lost a race. Like, I don't know what he's done to prove he's Robin.
Yeah. And this, honestly, it would have been interesting if they would have kept going. Would they have touched on this still? Would this have caused his descent to become Nightwing?
Interesting. Because it does come up in the comics, these issues.
Yeah, and in the video games, too.
Hell yeah.
Of him, and in the cartoons. Of him just being like, yeah, Bruce was too controlling, so I wanted to go and do my own thing. And that's why he went to Bloodhaven. But nope, we are not getting that. And so we see Dick, while he's doing some shit in the Batcave, he catches Barbara sneaking out with a motorcycle, which he'd seen her doing before. She came in one night with a motorcycle and she was like, sorry. And this time he follows her. And it's to like an underground motorcycle race.
Yes.
And he does it, he also participates.
Yes.
And it's a really, really unnecessary scene.
This was a big selling point in this movie. Big day-glow set-piece motorcycle death scene.
Yeah.
It's basically Wacky Racers meets The Warriors, if that makes sense.
And
then with Dayglow jizzed all over the scene.
Oh, God. And, was that Coolio?
It was Coolio. It was Coolio. And also in this scene, the only guy I believe, I could be wrong on this, to be in the Nolan-verse and the original quadrilogy, the 90s verse, Nicky Cat. He's the only guy.
Yeah. Joe, who did he play in The Dark Knight?
He played the dude in...
Cop.
He played a cop in Dark Knight who was sitting next to Gordon, I believe, as they were... Or no,
it wasn't Gordon, it was just two cops.
It was just two cops.
He was one of them.
As they were driving through the underground, transporting Harvey Dent to bait the Joker, before they captured the Joker. He was the guy who was like, oh no! Oh shit!
That's not good.
That's not good, and I don't think that's even a good part of that movie. I think that brings that scene down.
Yeah. Which is fantastic.
Yeah, no shit. Also, during this scene, we get like, whoop, 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 sound effects.
Yeah,
as
really.
people like crash. There's no way to take this scene seriously.
We don't know who's winning this race.
No, it's terribly shot.
We don't know who's who in this race. This is the worst scene in the movie, and I said it during it, this movie is chock full of shit. We've got Mr. Freeze, we've got Poison Ivy, we've got Bane, we've got Batman and Robin squabbling, Alfred's sick. And
this movie is full of shit.
And they take 10 to 15 minutes on this.
It's almost insulting.
Yeah. And the scene ends with Barbara almost careening off the edge of a bridge, and
she loses the race.
And Dick saves her.
Yes.
And that's that.
Yeah, and
then back at the...
and they bond over it for some reason.
She's kind of mad at him, I think. And as they're like entering the mansion again, Wayne Manor, she says she wants to take Alfred away from his life of butlery, his life of servitude.
Yes. Real quick, are we meant to believe... I have a couple more things about this race. I apologize. are we meant to believe that this is a national phenomenon? Because she apparently is known for this outside of this place.
That's a great point. He's like, you're that chick who, But I think that was from that earlier one that we didn't see.
Okay.
I think it's just
but
like...
but then she says that she was kicked out of Cambridge for drag racing.
Yeah. I just think
that's a thing.
I just think she drag racing. Why would Cambridge care?
No, there was not a disciplinary hearing
for what she
Cambridge.
does.
I'm losing my voice screaming about this. This is so bad.
Also, she's not British.
No! Why was she... Everything about her screams British. She comes from a British family. She lived there. She was studying at Cambridge, so maybe she was in college.
Yeah, true.
Is Alfred meant to be a slave in this movie?
That's what she's saying he is, which I guess is a thing.
He's being paid and is allowed to leave.
Yeah, and also that's his whole family's done that apparently.
Yeah.
So
this is a life that you've chosen. And one day you will choose. You're at the Cambridge School for Butlering.
You're majoring in butlering.
Yeah.
Or buttling. And then she's like, Alfred's sick. And he's like, Al's not
What?
Al's not sick. And then Bruce's like, he's not sick. He's dying. It's like, so, he is sick.
Yeah.
And it's at this time that at Arkham Asylum, we actually go inside the asylum. Poison Ivy breaks out Mr. Freeze, who went in earlier. And when he
By the way, quick little shot of Jesse the Body Ventura as one of the dick security guards at Arkham Asylum.
Yep.
One of two governors in this movie, the other one being the guy that he's pushing around.
She breaks him out. We get also a little cameo of the Robin, or the Riddler and Two-Face costumes.
Yes.
That are in Arkham for some reason, all hung up.
By the way, it's during this scene that you can tell how short Arnold Schwarzenegger actually is.
It really is true, when he's with the Arkham guards.
Yes.
Because Jesse is actually a big guy.
Yeah. Jesse Ventura is probably 6'3".
Yeah.
And he is towering over Arnold Schwarzenegger. Do you want to tell it?
Yeah, we live in the suburbs of Washington, D.C., and back when Arnold was married to... I think they're still married. They're just separated. They haven't signed the divorce papers. Him and Maria Shriver...
Not the important part of this.
I'm just saying. Her parents live here.
Yes.
Live around here.
Sergeant Shriver.
And it was Mother's Day that day. And we were out eating lunch.
You are really chewing up the scenery on this. You are really taking them through everything.
This is the biggest celebrity you've ever met.
Yeah.
And, and so we were just there. We were eating lunch. And all of a sudden, our sister says, I think I just saw Arnold Schwarzenegger, walk by the window. And we're all like, what?
And me and you walk outside.
Well, no, and then somebody comes in the restaurant and says, Arnold Schwarzenegger's out there. So everybody's like, holy shit, Arnold Schwarzenegger's here. And so he went into Starbucks. We went outside to see if he was there. And we
were not at Starbucks. We were next door.
We were next door, and we had gone outside and peered into the window at Starbucks, and we couldn't see him. We're like, oh, where is he? And whatever. And so as we were walking back, we were just standing on the sidewalk, and he walks up next to us.
Yeah, he's within 3 feet of us.
Closer than that. We are shoulder to shoulder.
Yes.
Because he's waiting, his car's getting pulled around.
Yes.
And I look over, and I actually...
He's got a cookie.
He's eating a cookie. And I said to him, hello, Mr. Schwarzenegger. And he goes, hi, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good.
He sounds exactly like you would imagine.
Oh my, even worse.
But the thing you would not imagine, Matthew...
is he is not a tall man.
He is not a tall man. I was taller than him.
He's 5'8".
I think I was 17 at the time, and I was taller than him. He's about 5'8".
Yeah.
And people get so mad when we tell them this.
Oh my god, I've told this story, and people are like, you're fucking lying. And I'm like...
Some people have turned off this podcast because of this story. I promise you this happened. We met him. He's shorter than you'd imagine. I know there's something online saying he's 6'2" or 6'3".
No.
He is not.
If that's the case, I am 6'2".
Yes. But it's just not the case.
But he was very nice to me.
Yeah, he was great.
I was 13, and he was like, hi, how are you? I was like, I'm good, thank you. He was like, have a good day. And he got in his big-ass car, his big-ass SUV, and left.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. So, that's a little Arnold Schwarzenegger info for everybody. Feel free to try to disprove us. I know some of you will.
So, yeah, it happened, so...
I can feel fingers furiously typing emails as this goes.
Bullshit. So yeah, back to this movie.
To me, this is where the movie starts really breaking down.
Oh yeah. Dick alerts Batman that Freeze has escaped, and they rush over to Mr. Freeze's former hideout, which I guess they just knew about.
Yeah, I guess they found that. Never explained.
And they like go deeper into...
Commissioner Crunch is there.
Yeah, he is. They go deeper into the hideout, and they find Nora Freeze.
Yes. They immediately find her. It's like they've played this video game before,
yeah.
and they're just skipping all the bullshit.
And,
it's like when you played Arkham Asylum enough times where you're just like, yep, here.
Yeah.
Here's where the Riddler trophies are. Done and done.
And they encounter Poison Ivy and Bane. They are there. And,
for some reason.
Yeah, sure. And they fight. And,
yes, they fight in the underground bunker that every ice cream plant definitely has. It's like a massive, giant pool of stuff. There's zero build-up. It's just a big fight out of nowhere.
And she again, like, kind
What
of...
is the plot at this point?
Survive. I don't know.
It doesn't have one yet.
Shit's happening.
We still don't have a plot to this movie other than Schwarzenegger wants diamonds to help save his wife. I guess Batman is against that. It's never explained enough. And Poison Ivy wants the ecosystem to be good, but she has no plan for that.
No. She's totally abandoned her plan of killing all those people.
Yeah.
That she proposed earlier. And it's here where she...
where she name drops her own action figure? Every Poison Ivy action figure comes with her own Bane.
And then he, like...
What world are you possibly doing? What are we doing here? Little on the nose here, guys.
Geez.
I feel bad for George Clooney having to sit through scenes like that. I'm like, I wanted to make a good movie.
What was
and
the
I'm sitting here, and now I'm sitting here pissing myself.
So, because she broke out Mr. Freeze, it's like, okay, she wants to work with him.
Yes.
That's what... they want to team up for some reason. And she goes in there, and she kills his wife.
Yes.
And, which is so brutal, and they kind of gloss over that.
Yes. Well, no, but she survives.
Does she?
Yes.
Right.
She thinks she kills her wife. She thinks that Poison Ivy thinks she kills Nora, but she does not.
Oh, okay.
Nora survives.
And like when she returns back to Mr. Freeze, she's like, Batman did it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, Batman killed your wife. I'm just gonna talk like this.
Yeah, don't. Because then I was talking to Schwarzenegger. So
we finally get her plan though. She finally because Freeze is all pissed off. He's willing to he just wants blood.
Mm-hmm.
He's seeing red. By the way, very emotional Mr. Freeze.
Which is fine.
No, I think it should be as cold as possible. I think it should be as flat and unemotional as you can give as a performance.
I agree, but imagine, what if Mr. Freeze found out Nora died?
Oh, I still think there would be not a ton of emotion. It would just be like an automaton set on kill.
Yeah.
And if they were to do Mr. Freeze in the Nolanverse or even in the DCU, who should it be? Answer on 3. 1, 2, 3. Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, Christoph Waltz. I forgot his name for a second. Yeah, I mean, you need somebody. The thing about Victor Freeze is the suit does all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, no, that's why they got Schwarzenegger, because they said they wanted a big dude. He's in a big suit.
Yeah.
Just have the big suit.
Yeah, that's where all his strength comes from. And I saw the other names attached to this were possibly Ed Harris, Patrick Stewart, Anthony Hopkins.
Those guys were like, oh my god, thank god I wasn't in that fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
But we get Poison Ivy's plan, which is she wants to use Mr. Freeze to basically wipe out humanity with a cold freeze. Mm. She wants to freeze the Earth. Which
would also freeze the planet.
Which would also freeze a bunch of the planets. But she's made some planets that can survive that, but it would still kill almost, statistically speaking, 100% of the planets. I understand a couple would survive. Statistically speaking, 100% of the planets would be dead. So it's a terrible, terrible plan. It makes absolutely zero sense.
For her sense, yeah.
But that is her plan.
And back at the mansion...
And they're going to be the only 2 people left on Earth.
Yeah, back at the mansion, there's a doctor there, and he reveals that Alfred has stage 1 of McGregor syndrome.
Yes.
Which was the disease that Nora Freeze was suffering from.
Yes.
And it's also, Victor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, already has the cure.
Yes, he knows a cure for stage 1 McGregor's.
Yeah.
Beyond that, you're out of luck. I don't know why they couldn't just have him cured entire. I guess because he hasn't cured her yet.
Yeah.
And she has answered my own question on that one.
Well
played, Schumacher.
What if he had cured it? What if he had just finished curing it and poisoned Ivy's like, she's dead?
Oh, that'd be brutal.
They
But
should've
then
done that.
she's alive later. Now
Then he cures her and then it's all good.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze is a tragic character. I wouldn't be that mad if, like, she got cured and then they, like, rode off into the sunset.
Yeah. Does it work? We need to talk about this.
No, I don't even know what you're going to say, but no.
The coincidence that Alfred and Nora both have McGregor syndrome.
Okay, that is a question.
By the way, we are 3 hours into this podcast.
How long are we in?
Probably like an hour. This movie has both of these two people. It's an incredibly rare disease. It only affects like 2 people on Earth. It's these 2 people.
Okay. If it's that rare...
I think it's very rare, not that rare. I'm embellishing.
Right. I mean, I like the idea if they establish what kind of disease it was. You know what I mean? If it's like a cancer type, we don't have a cure for cancer.
Yes.
Or AIDS or something. You know what I mean? So, I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
Someone else in Gotham having McGregor's that Bruce Wayne wants to cure. Alfred's a logical choice.
I can dig it. Maybe it should have been like an environmental thing instead of a genetic.
Yeah, then you could like...
Oh, they both happen to the same thing. I don't know.
They're both...
It's a big coincidence that you have to gloss over.
Yeah. They're both dealing with a bunch of bullshit. So, we also see that Alfred gives Barbara a CD containing some secrets, and he says, give it to my brother.
True.
Because we saw Alfred also putting all this on a CD earlier. And she tries to hack it, and which she is successful, and she learns the secrets about Batman and Robin.
Yes.
So why was that going to be sent to Alfred's brother?
I have no idea. Great question. I've never even considered that. Yeah, he doesn't need to know. You're only endangering his life.
Yeah.
She's a terrible password hacker.
Yes.
She guesses, like, Butler.
Alfred.
Yeah. But it's... The eventual thing is Peg.
Yeah.
Which is, the sister's name I was kind of set up earlier. Terrible. Now, because she guessed her own mother's name, she gets to be Batgirl.
Yeah. He's like, I made you a suit. Oh, that scene pissed me off.
Oh, my God.
Because she went into the Batcave, because she figured it all out, and there's, like, Alfred's face, like, pops up on the screen, and he's like, I've been expecting you, Barbara. Like he's fucking Brainiac or something.
Well, it paints this picture where he has videotaped, like, no matter what the scenario.
No, it's not a videotape. He said, like, he downloaded, like, some sort of software for, like, his consciousness or something like that.
Yeah, which is, well, if you have that, you don't need to be fucking around with anything else. You have it all figured out.
He's a genius.
I like to think he really just, like, he videotaped all those.
Yeah. It would have made more sense.
Yeah, it would have. He's got one for no matter what happens. Hello, Diego Luna. I see you've broken into the Batcave. Oh, I have to do so many of these.
Yeah, Jesus.
But yeah, she's gonna be Batgirl, and she does not deserve to be Batgirl.
Nope.
We've seen her in 2 scenes. One of them was a race that she lost and should have died.
Yeah.
So there's
for Robin.
There's nothing to show that she has any kind of capability. In the last movie, we made fun of he does kung fu on his laundry, and that proves he should be Robin. We don't even get the benefit of that in this movie.
I guess because it would have been super sexist.
She just karates the shit out of a kitchen.
And makes a cake. That would have been funny.
Listen, man.
Why not?
Here's where I wrote in my notes, what is possibly going on in this movie.
Yeah. We see that later that night...
If you're going to make her a suit, you clearly think she can be Batgirl. Just make her Batgirl.
Yeah.
If you're going that far.
I guess the hacking's like a nod to Oracle.
Is it?
It's gotta be.
I guess.
Man, what if they crippled her in this movie? That would have been awesome.
That was the next one.
I was like, this movie rules. And we see that later that night, Dick is... Bruce convinces Dick to trust him, which is the end of that storyline. And before he goes to see Poison Ivy, and Mr. Freeze is...
You should trust me. Yeah, that's right.
Alright, man. Dap up. Yeah. Mr. Freeze plans to take over the telescope that Bruce Wayne had donated earlier in order to freeze the entire city. We see that Poison Ivy tries to kiss Robin.
Yes.
But he's like...
Poison Ivy, who is there for some reason.
Yeah, because they're
teammates.
teammates.
And who tries to seduce Robin by saying she is slippery when wet.
Oh my god.
It's so good. This is a cartoon? Did you yell, this is a cartoon before the slippery when wet line? Did we do that? Because you have this character as horned up as any character I've seen in any movie, save for Nicole Kidman in Batman Forever.
Boy, it's a contest.
Who is honestly more down to clown? It's still gotta be Nicole Kidman,
it's
right?
It's gotta be Nicole Kidman, because, yeah, it is. Because honestly, because she's a better actress.
Yeah, Uma Thurman is...
It's not great.
She is mailing it in.
Yeah.
A lot of postage on this movie.
Yeah. And when she kisses him, Robin's like, joke's on you, bitch. I got rubber lips on. Which isn't a thing. He did not pull rubber off of his lip.
No, he just pulls like a small thing of plastic, which, fine. Honestly, fine. If that's what we're doing, fine.
And
she throws him into the...
bunch of vines.
A bunch of vines, like pull him into underwater, and then let him go, and now he's just in the pool, and apparently he cannot swim. I'm not kidding. By the way, how do any of them know where Ivy is?
Yeah, for real. Batgirl shows up.
Batgirl shows up because if you're going to have a female villain, need to have a female superhero to beat them up.
Yeah, could they not have Batman literally punch Poison Ivy in the face?
Maybe. I think that might have been a thing. Maybe they had that note from a studio or something.
Yeah.
But then they have these two fight with switchblades.
Yeah, Poison Ivy pulls out a switchblade.
No, Batgirl is like a thing of her own. They're just full on jets and sharks circling each other. It's unreal.
Come on. You want to get nuts?
Yeah, but eventually Batgirl does win. Yeah, and she kicks her into
the flower.
What is it called? Venus flytrap kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like a hydrangea.
Which then captures Poison Ivy.
Yeah. Doesn't kill her.
She's betrayed by a plant.
Why would that plant do that?
That's an issue.
I thought she could control plants.
I believe this is the end of Poison Ivy.
Until the end.
Yeah, until like the...
And then the three of them, the Bat family, all go over to fight Mr. Freeze, and they beat him.
Yes.
That's literally what happens.
There's some rough freezing CGI we can talk about. Yeah. He starts freezing up all of Gotham, and they have 11 minutes to get him out, and through some bullshit science that does not work.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that they had 3 heroes on 1 super villain.
Yeah.
This is why you need foot soldiers. Because they look like the bullies. Or they at least look a little weak because of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Captain America has to wade through a lot of shit before he gets to Red Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is the insurgent here. There's a lot of stormtroopers before you get to Vader. But eventually, with some computer stuff from Barbara, she's like, wait, I got this. P-E-G, enter. Shit, didn't work. I have no clue.
Alright, I'm out. That's all I had. Yeah, and then they stop Mr. Freeze, but not before they convince him to give him the cure.
Yes. Which he apparently had all along.
Yeah,
like on his body.
It was like on his forearm.
Yeah.
And so they go and they try to cure Alfred, and the next morning he wakes up and is totally fine.
He's doing backflips. He's perfectly healed.
And the film ends with Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze being cellmates.
Yes.
In Arkham Asylum.
Yes. He has been given his suit for some reason.
Is she hallucinating?
No, I think that's supposed to be legitimate.
Alright.
And then the movie actually ends with them all running away from the bat symbol again.
Yeah.
Which is usually not what Batman even does.
Yeah,
he runs towards it. Couldn't even get that right. Let's get into the character breakdown. Batman in this movie, there's not a lot of him.
No.
And I think I've noticed a thorough line in these movies. The less Batman is in the movie, the worse movie it is.
It's true.
And I think that is a trend that will continue, because my least favorite of the Nolans is Dark Knight Rises. Batman's not in much of that. Especially costumed Batman. He's just not there that much.
Yeah, it's true.
And so I think George Clooney gave his level best with bad material.
Yeah.
I think that's the best that could be said.
I mean, there's some things from the comics here. I mean, we get Julie Madison. There's some dissension between him and Dick. I would have liked if that was never resolved.
Yeah, that continues on.
And just, there's bones, but it's just nothing comes together.
Yeah. God. I feel so bad for George Clooney.
Yeah, no. I feel bad for George Clooney because he's so open about how bad he feels about this.
Yes.
He says, after filming, he said, well, we just killed the franchise.
Yeah, we killed Batman.
Yeah.
Them and Rotten Tomatoes are Batman's biggest enemies.
Yeah, for real. Alright, let's move on.
Robin, played by Chris O'Donnell.
Sucks.
He's terrible in this. He is giving a bad performance in a movie of bad performances.
Yeah.
He is among them. He comes across as petulant. He never earns back anything. I think he took the "we are in a cartoon, turn it up to 11" direction and really took it to heart.
I mean, Robin is supposed to be like this in this movie. He's supposed to be... Is he supposed to be whiny?
He comes across very...
Are we supposed to be rooting for Robin here? Whose side are we on?
There's an interesting story to tell of, like, Robin is a capable... That's the problem. He's never capable.
Yeah, he doesn't prove his worth.
He never proves his worth at one time.
In either movie.
In either movie. He's never shown to be a good superhero. Batman shows to, like, carry his shit all the time. And he still is like, well, I think we're partners. Yeah, well, you just got your ass frozen and you almost got murdered by a fuck plant. So
and also,
maybe sit down.
Also, Riddler and Two-Face captured you.
Yeah, with almost no resistance.
They captured you as easy as they captured Dr. Nicole Kidman, whatever her name was.
Chase Meridian.
Chase Meridian, yeah.
I bank at Chase Meridian.
Alright.
Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl.
That's Batgirl.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, Alicia. You were fine.
Thank you, Bruce Valanche.
Hey, I'll say Alicia Silverstone was good looking in this movie.
She was very pretty.
Yeah.
She's not giving a great performance.
No, hell no.
I honestly just don't think she's that good an actress.
Yeah.
I know people love Clueless. I'm willing to bet that that's not very far off from who she was at the time.
Right.
So it wasn't a lot of deep acting work.
And plus, people probably watch Clueless now for Paul Rudd.
Yeah. He hasn't aged.
No.
It's unreal.
No, he really hasn't. 20 years later, and he still was.
It's unreal.
There's fucking Scott Lang, you know?
She's not given much to do, and she doesn't do it.
No.
She's never shown to be good at anything. She guesses a computer password one time.
She barely knows how to fight. She pulled a switchblade.
She's kind of a racer, even though she would have died if Robin wasn't there.
True.
She would have been murdered that night.
Yeah, she would have plummeted to her death.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just not good.
It was not good.
She didn't have a story. She was like, I'm here to visit my Uncle Alfred. And I guess she figured out he was dying on her own. Because he was like, look at him, he's sick.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, she knows immediately. Was she told that he was...
No, I think she was just like, look at it.
Just showed up and realized, like...
Just timing-wise. And
yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Mr. Freeze. He mailed it in.
Yeah.
It was not good.
He
got paid. He got paid $1 million for every minute he was on film.
Oh my God.
Crazy. For every minute that makes it into the final cut, he is paid $1 million. That wasn't the deal, that's just like a coincidence.
Yeah. It's also probably not exact, but it's like...
It's pretty goddamn close. Yeah, it's completely ridiculous. It's a poorly conceived character. It's a weird fantasy character.
I mean, they took Victor Freeze, and they got Victor kind of right. In the sense that... But they never showed him wanting to cure his wife.
Yes.
Take out that fucking race scene. Take out Batgirl.
Honestly.
And give me the Freeze stuff.
Yes.
He got screwed in this film.
Yes.
His character did. Because, not even just Arnold Schwarzenegger, just the character Victor Freeze did. Because we should have seen him actively trying to cure Nora. He should not have had goons. He should not have had a Vic Fox.
Very solitary. Oh, we shouldn't have had Miss B. Haven.
Yeah. And it should have just been him in a fucking laboratory somewhere. That he's encased in ice. Fine, I'll give you that.
Yeah, he's in like some seaside cave. That he's closed out the door with ice.
And he is just working. And he's robbing banks to try and fund his cure.
Yes, he's never... there's never a moment of sympathy.
Yeah.
There's never a moment where we question that he is an open, heinous bad guy.
No. His first couple of lines
shouldn't be.
His first couple of lines are kill the heroes.
Yes. That's not a line you come back from.
No. And that's also not a line Victor Freeze would say.
Never.
He would just say, "Leave me alone."
Yeah. He'd be almost pleading. Maybe the worst in this movie is Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
The Pam Isley stuff is decent.
Yeah, they give her origin some due.
I'm okay with her origin. I get that it's through this lens of the Schumacher stuff, so there's some edges of bullshit.
Yeah.
I get that.
There's more than edges.
But there's good stuff.
Sure.
As much as we're going to get.
Yeah. Once Woodrow died, it was went downhill.
Yes. That's true. As soon as she kisses him, she never recovers in this movie.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's a weird interpretation. Much like how Tommy Lee Jones was trying to do the Joker, she's trying to do Catwoman, in my estimation.
It's true. And Poison Ivy, I like the character more like how we kind of saw her in the Arkham video games, where she is like a plant lady. She can control plants.
Yes.
She
is of them and with them.
She looks green.
Yes.
She's fucking ratty as hell, because she's like a hippie kind of woman, very bohemian, and yeah, she's with them and she's of them. It's a good way to put it. And of this, she's just dresses like one. She could just be Dr. Pamela Isley and put on lipstick and have this dust that she made. She didn't need to say that her blood was aloe or that her skin was chlorophyll.
Even that, it gets a little poetic. I mean,
but we don't get anything of that. What if she was cut?
Yeah,
that'd have been cool.
Yeah.
And just like aloe starts coming out.
Oh boy.
We don't get the fact that she's supernatural.
Akiva Goldsman should be
Perhaps pastor.
Alfred, played by Michael Gough.
This is the first time we're talking about Alfred.
Yeah, he's been in all 4 movies. Him and Commissioner Crunch are the only 4. Pat Hingle.
And we're not talking about Pat Hingle.
He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything in any movie.
But Alfred gets a little thing in this. He has the death stuff. It's used to further the Freeze storyline. Michael Gough, in general, thoughts?
I did not like it in any of the movies.
He has no charisma.
Yeah.
He has no charisma with any of these people.
No,
there's no chemistry.
With anybody. And that's... And you gotta put that on him.
How do you fuck up a chemistry thing with George Clooney? The man could fuck him up.
You gotta put it on Michael Gough, too, because he had 2 different directors, 4 movies, 3 different Bruces/Batmans.
And he never finds a connection.
And, you know, I've liked Michael Gough in other things. I said my favorite Tim Burton movie is Sleepy Hollow. And he's in that.
I go Ed Wood, but I get that.
Sure. And he's in that. And he plays like a crazy old man.
Ed Wood, one of my favorite movies.
And he's just not right for Alfred.
Yeah, he just doesn't do a good job. They found old white British dude and went with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's just never anything going on.
I don't care. When he's sick, I'm like, I don't care.
Okay, so I think that's our character breakdown and our plot breakdown. Now we have to rate and rank this movie. So right now, I think we've agreed that the list goes... First place, Batman.
Yes.
Second place, Batman Forever.
Yes.
Third place, Batman Returns. Controversially. Or no, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we need to slide in Batman and Robin into this.
Yeah, where does it go?
I'm willing to make the opening play here.
Sure.
Because I've said before...
I'm on the fence here, so sway me.
I've said before that Batman and Robin is worse than... Or is better, it's a more enjoyable watch than Batman Returns. But looking at it critically, there's no... I just can't emotionally do it. This is the worst Batman movie. It gets everything wrong. There's nothing in this movie as good as the Bruce and Selina stuff in Batman Returns, and there's nothing in that movie that's as bad as half of the shit that goes on in this.
Yeah.
I have to put this last.
Is there anything redeemable? I think is what you got to talk to yourself.
That
this movie does.
I don't see anything.
No.
If I read this script, I would tear up 99% of this.
What would you leave in?
The Poison Ivy, Pam Isley stuff in South America.
And I kind of dig that like her thing got used to make Bane.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Dude, should we talk about Bane? No.
Okay, yeah, Bane's in this movie. He's a big, strong guy. They completely fuck up the character.
He doesn't talk.
He doesn't talk. He's a complete idiot. He's just big, dumb, strong muscle.
Yeah.
He's a big, dumb, strong guy jerk-off fantasy. played by a professional wrestler who would then die because of steroid-related issues.
2 months after this movie came out.
No shit.
Yeah.
That quick. I believe it. He was a WCW wrestler, I believe.
I'll believe you.
And so, and that made people really mad for a long time, and I think that helped fuel bringing in Bane for Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. It's Bane.
Yeah. He has no... He's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He's Frankenstein.
Doesn't say a fucking word.
That's my ranking. What do you say?
Watching Batman Returns, it was boring.
It's really boring.
I fell asleep.
It's really boring.
Yeah.
I had to wake you up and rewind.
I don't even think we rewound.
No, we did.
We did? Alright. It's a tough call.
See, because if we're going to talk entertainment, you have to remember, you and I did have a better time, I would say a better time for whatever that's worth, watching this.
Right.
Because we made fun of it a lot more freely than we made fun of Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Which was just boring. If we're talking about pure what lit up your brain more, this. But it was keys jingling in front of my face.
But it's like, so the question is, which one's the better Batman movie?
Yes.
And then I have to put this last.
Yeah, this is last.
Yeah. So, we agree on our rankings.
Yes.
That might not happen too often.
I don't think that'll happen particularly often. I suspect it might happen, though, with our next slate of movies.
Ooh, I don't even know what it is.
For our next slate of movies...
Yeah, well, I have an idea if you put it like that. I'm not going to say because I don't want to get people's hopes up.
Well, I mean, we're eventually going to be going through pretty much everything.
Alright, well, I'm going to guess the Raimi trilogy.
We are doing the Raimi trilogy. We're doing the damn Spider-Mans. We'll be coming at you guys next week with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1, I guess. I guess it's just called Spider-Man.
Toby.
Week after that, Spider-Man 2, and then after that, Spider-Man 3, which is the Batman and Robin of Spider-Man.
So we are definitely going to agree on this upcoming ranking.
Yes. I'll already tell you. It's 2-1-3.
Who would argue otherwise?
I don't know, because 2 is one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Yeah.
And I almost walked out of 3 when it came out.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was really...
That was around the time we saw Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Hey, you're not in the worst one anymore. Like, what?
High five, buddy. But...
that's the episode for the week. Please rate and subscribe to the podcast. It really means a lot. We have a 5-star rating on iTunes, and that's really, really cool. We thank everybody for that. If you guys want to get in touch with the show, we always email back, we always tweet back or whatever. Please tweet the show at Up and Away Show, Facebook.com/Up and Away Show, Instagram Up and Away Podcast. We post all our episodes there. Email us upandawaypodcast@gmail.com. Send us news, send us opinions, tell us why we're wrong, send us your own rankings and why you made them, and it's going to be a great time. So for my brother Matt, for me, you got anything else?
Nope.
Let's get the heck out of here. Up and away. We'll see you guys later.